Hello, everybody. Welcome into Full Time. I'm Max. I did forget my camera, but I don't want to miss this opportunity to join you today from beautiful Bank of California Stadium, the potential site of MLS Cup here in 2019. There's a lot of potential sites. This is just one of them. I'm just saying. By the way, the weather people here in LA keep telling me that it's going to cool off. Bring your jacket. It's not cooling off. I brought my jacket, don't need it. I'm not trying to show off that I live in California and it's warm all the time. I'm just trying to say that I don't mind a little cool air. I got a lot of cool jackets I want to bust out that I bought in the summertime, ready to use. All right, I'm not here for that. I'm here for my MLS Cup preview, which begins Saturday. 6 games this weekend, just one leg, 90 minutes, maybe a little bit more if required to determine who moves on. 14 teams remain. And a few things you need to know about the MLS Cup playoffs. Firstly, expect the unexpected. A lot of crazy things tend to happen, which for LAFC, the top seed in the West, the top seed in the East, New York City FC, doesn't bode well. However, it is a new playoff format. They get byes, and I am sure you would like your chances getting out of a bye much more than you would playing in that first round, because anything can happen. So that's a positive. There's a big layoff for those teams, but they obviously are getting ready in the best way possible. It's a big layoff for everybody, really. It's 2 weeks before we have that opening round, so stuff to take into consideration there. All right, so as for this playoff rounds, expect the unexpected. Overall in MLS Cup playoffs, strange things tend to happen. Just look at the history in years past. So I'm just gonna look down at my notes here. 2016, Seattle beat Toronto in MLS Cup. That was the Stefan Fry save. Great playoffs, by the way. But that year, Seattle finished 4th in the West. Toronto finished 3rd in the East, and they played there. So no one expected that. You finish 4th in a conference. You're on the road a lot, and they were able to do it. That was an old playoff format, so again, this could be a little different. 2018, last year, Portland finished 5th in the West and made it to MLS Cup. Didn't win it, but made it. Perhaps the biggest evidence of a team getting hot at the right time in the postseason is the 2008 Red Bulls. The Red Bulls won 10 games in 30, got hot. They actually finished, I believe, they were 8th overall in MLS. So they had the 8th best record, made MLS Cup, lost to Columbus Crew. They had Juan Carlos Osorio and Juan Pablo Angel leading the way. I remember because I was there. That was at the then Home Depot Center, now Dignity Health Sports Park. So you got to keep that in tow, but this is such a hard thing to predict, more so than any other playoff series where generally, outside of hockey, but generally the other sports, the teams do make it through. Again, the playoff format this year could change things somewhat, and both home teams have a unique home field advantage. It looks like the Yankees' playoff run might be ending, so that's good news for New York City FC and their prospects of playing at Yankee Stadium. Cut to the chase here, and then maybe Freezing Cold Takes has this video on it saying, hey, the Yankees have just won the World Series. As I post this, they're down 3-1 to the Astros. But that's as much as I will talk about baseball. So Yankee Stadium provides a good home field advantage. Unique. Bank of California Stadium does it. This has been a fortress for LAFC. They've just lost once. I think that'll bear well for those teams. So here's let's put the format aside and let's put the brackets aside and some things that I'll be looking forward to in these MLS Cup playoffs. As many of you know, and just look at my last post, the disappointment of the U.S. national team. U.S. soccer we need a kick in the trousers. We need a rush of blood, something to make us feel good. And there's some good young American players out there that might be able to do the job in these playoffs. This is club game, but I'm looking for that because the foreign players are the tops. Carlos Vela, Zlatan, Joseph Martinez, Maxi Morales, Pity Martinez, just in name and money. But these are the big name players. These are the guys that are going to come and see at the postseason. But there are some American players that I think could do pretty well. Mason Toye at Minnesota. Mason Toye, young American striker, has a lot at his feet. Brandon Savania, who plays at FC Dallas, 20 years of age, instrumental midfielder for them. Brendan Aronson, runner-up for Rookie of the Year, plays for Philadelphia, 18 years of age. Jeremy Ebobisse, the Portland striker, still a young American player, has scored playoff goals. Could he be the moment? He seize the moment here for the club? Young guys, Aaron Herrera, Corey Baird at Real Salt Lake. Some of those teams that rely heavily on young American Academy of players. Real Salt Lake, FC Dallas, Philadelphia Union to a lesser degree. The Red Bulls have got a good American core. Maybe they will do it as well. It's interesting when you look through the books of the MLS Cup playoffs, you do have those players, American or foreign, that have seized the moment and made it their own. Nico Lodeiro did it when Seattle made that run to the MLS Cup, scoring goals. Victor Vasquez for Toronto was a revelation and was really a guy who emerged in the postseason. Franco Escobar for Atlanta last season. This is what makes us. We don't know. I just read you three guys you couldn't predict. Maybe Lodeiro, but the other guys you can't predict. Someone's going to step up and make a big difference here, which makes it very exciting. All right, my predictions here. Now, when I make predictions, based on what I just told you that anything can happen, you could say that it will go crazy here. But who do you pick? Who do you pick out of the East or West that makes a run? I do have one candidate, but I think New York City FC and LAFC have a really good shot of making it because particularly LAFC, they've been so good all season. If they match up against anyone, you could say if they match up against the Galaxy, they haven't beaten them, but they are a better team. They match up against any team in the West, they are better. So you better have good criteria to pull. I don't have criteria to pull on behalf of any of those teams to say they'll beat LAFC. So I like LAFC coming out of the West. It's not just because I'm here and I work for the team. I like them to beat Real Salt Lake in the Western Conference Final. In the East, I will have a surprise. I did get a chance to call a Toronto FC game down the road, and I think some of the Toronto experience and just a good team, as a team who finished fourth, I think they can get through. They'll beat New York City FC. They will reach MLS Cup Final. They will beat Atlanta in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not going to make an MLS Cup pick just yet. I'm just thrilled at the prospects of coming here November 10th for MLS Cup. I didn't jinx it. I didn't jinx it. I just said that. I put it out there to not jinx it. Subscribe to Full Time. Subscribe to everything here. So thrilled. We've been getting a great response, certainly from the U.S. national team features I've been doing. Keep it up. Max Bredos. Tell your friends. Let's make this something together.